Oil prices rising this morning on the heels of data showing that China's economy expanded last year. Even though it did expand, it was the slowest pace in 28 years. China, of course, the world's second largest oil consumer. Joining me right now is the leader of one of the world's largest energy producers, BP CEO Bob Dudley. And Bob, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks so much for joining us. Now, you've talked about oil demand across the world. I want to kick it off right there. Given all of this gloom and doom talk about a slowdown, what are you seeing in terms of demand for oil and gas?
Well, when you look at the numbers, you actually don't see it declining. Actually, last year, 1.3, 1.4 million barrel a day growth. It looks like 2019 will be the same, another 1.4 million barrels a day of growth. So we don't see it in the numbers.
Have you seen any indications that things are slowing down in the U.S.? You've been investing more and more in the United States. I want to get your take on that.
We don't see that either. We see, growth, close to 3%. It's a good, healthy growth. And for us, on our business, we are continuing to invest more and more in the United States.
Where so? Tell us what the projects are and where you see the most growth for BP within the U.S., particularly the shale business.
That's
after
right.
your acquisition.
That's right. Last year, we made the biggest acquisition we've made in about 20 years, buying the BHP assets in the shales, the Permian Basin, the Eagle Ford, and the Haynesville. That's a big step for us. Got it back on track, and we're making vast technology breakthroughs in the Gulf of Mexico. We see our Gulf of Mexico building our business there.
So
and we have retail.
So before we get to retail, tell us about the significance of the shale business, because most people don't understand or recognize how significant the U.S. has become in terms of being a producer as a result of shale. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. U.S. production now, you take the three big heavyweights in the world, it's the United States, Saudi Arabia, and Russia. The United States is heading towards being the largest producer in the world. Huge amounts of investment are happening. Different characteristic than conventional oil. You put a lot of capital in it, it declines fast. You got to keep it running fast. There's a lot there.
How significant has the deregulation been out of the Trump administration? This is one policy, I think, that was a game changer for your business.
I think it was a game changer not only for our business, but American business in general. You get together with CEOs of American businesses. They all talk about, it doesn't mean that your permits were approved, that they might not have been approved. It's just decisions are being made much, much faster, and that's, of course, good for business. So, and sometimes they're not approved, but when they are reviewed, you get an answer.
So in the past, you needed permitting. It would take, what, years?
In some cases, we...
That's crazy, years.
Yeah, we recently got approval for a permit that we submitted 6 years ago. We forgot what we'd asked for, as an example, but it's a one-off. But it did take, and has taken, years in many cases. The
Gulf of Mexico, another important project. Tell us about that in terms of what you're expecting and the growth there. How significant is it for BP?
It's very significant. And of course, we've had our ups and downs. We had a real problem a decade ago in the Gulf of Mexico. We've met those obligations, huge obligations. I feel very proud about that. And since then, we've been expanding these hubs. And I think we've produced about 20% of what we have in the ground out of the Gulf of Mexico. It's great for the United States. And by using new technologies, we image things, we can see the reservoirs easier. We've found what we think are another 1 billion barrels of reserves without having to drill to find them.
Yeah, this is a really important part of the story, I think, technology and these supercomputers that are being used. Tell us about that. How significant is that, and how do they work?
Well, it's amazing. It's the processing. So many petaflops of data can be done. You can do things today in a week that used to take several years for reservoir engineers to interpret. It's amazing, and imaging just sort of pops out and makes it easier. It's still a bit of an art. There's an art involved, but use of data is incredibly different than it was even 5-10 years ago.
Do you need to keep investing in technology in that regard?
Absolutely. We've got all kinds of efforts in data analytics for everything we do, and putting sensors all through our equipment, allow people to even stay away from hazardous areas. It's going to change our industry like the aircraft industry. I'm just amazed at the pace of change in this. It's going to happen in all industries, but oil and gas is prime for this. People think that oil and gas is not a high-tech business. It is.
Well, it's got to be, right? Yeah. I mean, some of the shale operations are very high-tech as well. Tell us about that.
Well, you can go down and drill wells now that come out like 6 and 9 times off of a single well to penetrate layers of rock. I mean, the Permian Basin may be essentially the largest oil field in the world. It was sort of forgotten for a long time and left. Technology breakthroughs by small companies back in time, George Mitchell, have unlocked this, and it's only going to get more and more. But it declines fast.
Bob, you recently launched one of your largest advertising campaigns forever, showing the company can advance the alternative energy sectors. Here in Davos, where sustainability is a big subject, oil is a bad word. Tell us about that. Tell us about your ad campaign and what you're trying to message.
Well, thank you that you saw it, or maybe you saw it, but thank you. We have. It's been a long time where we felt like we could tell the story of the company, almost 10 years, really. So we told the story that we're a broad global energy company. We do everything from renewables, wind, solar, biofuels, all the way through oil and gas exploration, natural gas technologies and trading. It's a story people don't know about BP. And we've been together with 13, 14 companies in the Oil and Gas Climate Initiative. We take this seriously. The world, it can't be a race to renewables. It has to be a race to reduce emissions. And so we're doing all kinds of things on that front.
So knowing all of that, take a look at the market for us. We've got investors out there a little perplexed at what's gone on with oil prices over the last 12 months. Is the market getting it right? What's your sense?
Well, I think the market, I don't think the volatility in the last 6 months is hard to explain, really. In June, the OPEC groups, OPEC Plus group got together and said sanctions on Iran, it's going to shoot the oil price up. So they agreed to increase production. And then there were waivers granted, and that dropped the price. And now too much, they've overshot, and they may have increased production a little bit. I think it's actually the market working pretty clearly. I think it's been maybe surprising political signals that have made it move so fast. But I think the market's coming into balance the first quarter of the year.
Is Iranian oil on the market significant?
It is significant. It is significant. And waivers have been granted for a lot of their exports. So right now it is significant, which is why the OPEC Plus group is reducing production in the first quarter. We'll see what happens.
Bob, it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Bob Dudley is the CEO of BP.